So, what is justice? I hear many people complaining about our judicial system and about what happens to them in court, especially in the CPS courts and the juvenile dependency courts in every county in the state of California. And I hear it from people all over the country. People call me from New York, New Jersey, Florida, Arizona, Nevada, Michigan, Illinois, and they all have the same complaint. Now, sometimes I would agree that there is some miscarriages of justice that happen in any particular case. But that's not what is frustrating people. What is frustrating people the most is the fact that their sense of justice does not equal what I will call court justice, real justice. Now, the term real, that's a relative term, and I use it to mean court justice. Now, here's court justice. Court justice is justice based upon the laws of the state. It's based upon the Welfare and Institutions Code in California. It's based upon the Evidence Code in California. It's based upon the Code of Civil Procedure in California. It's also based upon appellate cases from our Supreme Court, our United States Supreme Court, the California Supreme Court, and appellate courtrooms throughout the state of California. I believe there are 6 divisions, and each division has multiple courts. And every day these courts issue written opinions on the law, interpreting the law in California. Now, a lot of times those cases deal with juvenile dependency cases, or what we call as CPS cases. So that's basically court justice. But individuals' sense of justice is usually based upon their life experiences, what people have told them, what their beliefs that they have developed over their lifetime. And that sense of justice does not equal court justice. As a matter of fact, sometimes they overlap just a little bit. And people, when they go to court and they don't realize that their sense of justice may not count for very much in the courtroom, they become frustrated and they start blaming everyone else. They blame their attorney, they blame the judge, they blame the social worker, and sometimes they should blame the social worker, but they have to realize that courtroom justice is not the same as their sense of justice. And what I find myself doing more and more these days is I'm trying to make the people understand that their sense of justice has to equal what the courtroom justice is. I recently got a call from a client, and she's a former client actually, and she was going to the family law court, and she had developed this strategy. And I had to tell her, I said, that strategy that you have developed is, in my opinion, not going to work. And she couldn't understand why that was so. And then I explained to her why that her strategy was based upon her sense of justice, not the courtroom justice, not the laws that govern family law types of cases. And it was almost as if there was an aha moment on her part. She finally understood why she was frustrated. But then she became upset because she thought, well, I shouldn't have to know the laws, the appellate cases, the rules of evidence, the rules of civil procedure in order to win a case inside a courtroom in California. And I had to explain to her that these rules apply and that she was going to have to try to win her case using those rules. I gave her an example. I said, do you watch the NFL? I said, why is it that 10 yards is a first down? She said, well, that's the rule. I said, well, why isn't it 15 yards? Why isn't it 20 yards? Why isn't it 5 yards? And she said, Mr. Davis, it's not the rule. You have to go by what the NFL rules are. I said, exactly. I said, and it's no different when you get inside the courtroom. There are rules, and there are a lot of rules, and you got to follow those rules. And she said to me, well, Mr. Davis, I don't know those rules, and it's unfair. I said, I understand that you don't know the rules. I understand that you feel that it's unfair. But in our system of justice, those rules govern what happens in the courtroom, just like the NFL rules govern what governs what happens on the football field. She didn't like it, but I think she finally understood. So understand, when you take on a case and you become involved in a case, either in the CPS courts or in federal court or state court regarding civil rights, there is courtroom justice. And courtroom justice doesn't always equal your sense of justice. So keep that in mind, and when you keep that in mind, you'll be better able to help your attorney, you'll be better able to strategize, and you'll be better able to understand what is required to win in a case. If you have any questions, please give me a call at 888-888-6582. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about the Juvenile Dependency Court dependency hearing.